All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is AAQ Unit 3, Website Development, and this part is going to be about P2, that's Pass Criteria 2, and M2, Merit Criteria 2. This is still going to be for Part A of the assignment. I've split this section up just because I think it would be a bit easier to work with, and this is going to be the theory part. This is where I explain what needs to be done in this part of the assignment. So P2 criteria needs us to produce a sitemap that partially meets the client's requirements, and again, the client's requirements come from the scenario that you've chosen. The scenario is going to tell you exactly how many pages are needed, the type of content that needs to be on the website. Everything that you need to know is going to be on your scenario. You can infer some things, but generally speaking, everything is going to be there. M2 criteria is going to be produce a sitemap that mostly meets the client's requirements. So again, P2, you can do some of the things that they want done, and for M2, you need to do most of the things that they want done. For example, let's just say for argument's sake, they have 10 things on their requirements list, 10 things that you must get done that they would like to get done. If you do 4 of those things, you should get a pass. If you do 5 of those things, you should get a pass. However, if you bump that to 6 out of the 10 things, you should get a merit because it says mostly meets. That's most of the things. 6 is more than 5, 5 is half of 10, so on and so forth, right? So you need to do roughly more than half of the things on there to be able to get this for M2. As I mentioned, this is still assignment A. I separated it as I think there are things you need to do first. We can't simply jump into this. There's some information that we have to have first, and that's where the scenarios come in. Your teacher will show you several assignments briefs from the exam board. You need to look at these different scenarios and pick the one that you like best, right? Your teacher might be able to talk you through the steps of how to choose one. Whichever one you choose, that's the one you're going to be using from now on. So you don't change anymore. That's what you stick with. Once you pick your brief, you must follow its specific rules and goals. You will use this scenario to plan everything for your new website. Make sure to read it carefully so you do not miss any important instruction. So when speaking about a sitemap, well, we have to make a sitemap. We have to know what a sitemap is first. A sitemap is like a table of contents that shows how your website is built. So the structure of the website, typically, it is a diagram that helps you plan out every page and how they link up. This map makes it easy to see the structure of your entire site all at once. So think of when you open a book and you see the table of contents and you see introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. This is essentially what a sitemap is, but obviously for a website instead. The requirements: you cannot create your sitemap until you understand what the client wants. These requirements are the specific list of things your website must do, well, should ideally do. You don't have to do every single one of them because again, M2 says mostly. You will find these requirements inside the assignment brief you choose, and again, your teachers should provide you with these. The client is a person or business that needs the website made. This could be a game review company, a local shop, or a charity. Whatever scenario you've chosen, that information came from your clients. Your job is to make sure your sitemap meets their specific needs. So if you need to have 4 pages or 5 pages, a home page that has this, a contact page that has this, you need to make sure that you follow what they've said. Functional versus non-functional. This is something I think, even though it hasn't popped up yet, I think we need to know about this. Functional requirements are things that must be done for the site to work. For the company to say, yes, I agree, I'm going to pay you your money, thank you for making a website, these things must be done. Non-functional requirements are extra features that are just nice to have. So it would be nice for it to work on mobile. It would be nice for it to load in less than 3 seconds. It would be nice for it, but if it doesn't happen, tough, because the main things are already done. These are just nice to have things. Your sitemap should try to include both to keep your client happy. Obviously, functional are more important, but non-functional can be just as important depending on the type of website and depending on the type of client that you have. Now, I'm going to change this slightly, and it says to get a pass, your site must include most of the pages asked for in the brief. The pages are going to be the easiest thing to make. It's the individual sections on each page that are going to be hard. So I just say do everything anyway. Again, my assignments are going to aim for distinction level, and to get to a distinction level, you have to do pass, you have to do merit, and you have to do all the distinction stuff as well. The layout of your site should be logical so that it is easy to use. This shows that you have a basic understanding of how to plan a website. Now for merit, for M2, your site must meet almost all of the client's goals. And I mentioned before, if you have 10 things, you want to meet at least 6 out of the 10. Your plan needs to be very detailed and show that you have thought about the whole brief, the entire assignment brief, not just a section that you like or the section that you can do, but the entire thing. It should show a clear path for users to find exactly what they need. Notes: to reach the merit level, you must add notes called annotations on your map. So whatever sitemap you make, you must annotate it. I think I'm either going to use PowerPoint, Canva, or Google Drive. I haven't fully decided yet. Most likely PowerPoint, because I think every school has access to PowerPoint and you have access to it locally, so you don't have to actually access the internet to use it, which could be quite useful. The notes explain how each page or features helps the client reach their goals. This proves that you have a good reason for every decision you make. So you don't just do things because you like the feature or, oh, this would be cool here. here. If you make a decision about a website, okay, why did I add a search bar? I added a search bar because this type of website is a news website and stories are added every day, every minute, every hour. So for someone to be able to find a particular news article, they can search by date, they can search by date and time, they can search by article name. Every single decision you make, you have to be able to justify, explain why you made that decision. Your sitemap must show how users will move between your pages. You should use lines or arrows to show how menus and links connect everything. Good navigation ensures that nobody gets lost while using your website. Page features. Each page on your map should list its main content and special features. This includes things like videos, contact forms, images, music, whatever you have on your website, you need to link it on these page features. Planning this now makes it much easier to build your website later on because you're not sitting there thinking while you're building the website, oh, what do I add here? If you have a plan already in place, you try to execute the plan as closely as possible. Plans can change, and in IT, plans very rarely don't. They probably always change, to be fair, and it's fine. When you're making a website, you think, I think it would be better to do this instead of what I originally said. That's fine. Just say it and do it. What to submit? You have to submit an annotated sitemap, any one of the following: a written response with supporting images, an edited audio or video recording, which means that you can, instead of doing a document or a presentation, you can do a video recording and you can edit it and make it the way you want. However, I'm going to stick to the traditional report or presentation because I think it's a lot easier for most people to do and digest. You have to have editing skills and you have to be able to cut things and put things together if you do the other one. So a written response or a presentation or slide deck with speaker notes. For me, I'm going to do the report one and I'm going to add as many images as is necessary. So for final checks, check that your map has the exact number of pages required by your brief. You can go over if you think it makes sense to add more pages, but you have to justify, you have to explain why you've gone over. Make sure all your links are clear and that your notes explain your choices. Double check that you have not missed any must-have features from the client. And again, must-have are functional requirements and nice to have are non-functional requirements. Functional requirements simply means that the website must have these functions to be able to work. The next part of this assignment or this series is going to be me doing P2 and M2, so the actual wireframe. Well, I've said here I'll use PowerPoint and then add the images to Microsoft Word. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Hopefully that was useful to someone and good luck.